All right, let's talk about politics.
Yay!
Yay!
You're excited.
I love politics because, like, when people watch politics, they go, "Oh no, our future, ooh!" And then for me, I'm like, "Let's get ready to rumble! It's fucking fake ass fucking WWE time.
Yep,
It is like
exactly.
WWE.
Fake as fuck."
It's the fakest shit ever.
It feels like sports now. Like
It
like the
is.
political world. It's just like your team versus my team, and then fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yo, but did you see how like Trump wanted Joe Rogan?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna talk about that
Okay,
today.
alright,
Yeah, we're gonna talk
we'll
about that, but not this one.
We'll
Yeah.
save it for later.
Can't
That's
wait.
why I don't like sports or politics. Because I don't like that divisiveness.
You're like, can't we all just be friends
I'm
and
just
shit?
like,
What
why?
What
It's
about Game of Thrones?
It's
Do you
pretend
like Game of Thrones?
divisiveness.
Can we be one big football team that doesn't play anyone?
We are. We are.
No, that's
The
lame.
corporatists are in control. Don't even worry.
Yeah, don't worry about
I know,
that.
for
Yeah.
me, it's like, y'all handle your shit, I'm out. That's it. That's how I see sports and politics. For
But it's
me
more fun though. It's like playing sports
I'm not hindering
where
your fun.
where the scores never go up or down. It just stays at 0 the entire time. All right, so we're talking about politics in Cheshire County, New
I've
Hampshire.
heard about this story. Shit's hilarious.
What
Fruit
happened?
cat and a half.
A Satanist anarchist ran for office as a Republican, but he didn't run as a Satanist anarchist. He just ran as a Republican.
She.
I'm sorry, she's
Trans
right?
Satanist
That's right.
anarchist.
And won. And all the Republicans are fucking pissed because they didn't know she was a Satanist trans anarchist.
How does she run?
Holy
As-
shit.
Just as a Republican, just like
For,
my
for
name,
the role of a sheriff.
Republican. Yeah.
For the role of a sheriff?
Don't you have to
Yes.
be like a deputy to be a sheriff?
Does she already have to be a police officer already?
I don't know.
Wait, what are they mad about?
So this is proof that people just vote for the name that they've seen the most on signs and stuff, and they don't give a shit to look into the candidate.
And that's what she basically is saying. She's like, the fact
Genius.
that I can stroll in here, put my name on a ballot, and then you guys actually voted me in as a sheriff, and then she's like, do you not realize that I am not fit for the role? And then her whole point of this thing, I don't know if it's a publicity stunt or not. It has to be.
It is, but
I don't think she intended for it to win, right? But then her whole point is the system is broken. Clear and
It's the best
simple.
point ever.
So we
Bro.
have Luciferians, or like we have actual Satanists, right? There are other troll Satanists.
Yes.
Who basically challenge our government system, and she might be coming from that camp. which
Clearly.
they're not actual Satanists. They're more like atheists and logical peoples. And what they do is they use it as a way to kind of point out the hypocrisy. So one example is like, we're trying to separate church from state, right? And we'll have this huge statue of like Jesus or whatever, maybe in the Bible Belt. So the fake Church of Satan, they created a huge goat statue
Yeah.
of the devil and
With his dick.
donated that to.
Dick?
I think so, yeah.
It was like a big goat, like with the fucking staff and shit, just sitting down, and they donated that to the city government and said, put that there too. And
It's our
there was
religious
this
beliefs.
huge controversy because literally their whole political thing is about like going into it and calling out all the bullshit,
Right.
and then saying like it isn't freedom of religion because there's one religion that you guys don't like, and then they're just using it as a way to scare them.
They all short circuit and shit because they're like,
Yeah.
we don't know how to think outside of this.
Yeah.
True.
Which is pretty
Same
interesting.
reason why Pastafarians came out.
Yeah, like in the Spaghetti Monster and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Spaghetti Monster's awesome.
The best, dude. Cthulhu's great.
What's Kanye's again? I forgot his.
Kanye's?
Yeah, like the one he.
The birthday party.
Birthday party. Yeah.
What if New Hampshire is just so open-minded where he's like, or she's like, see, I'm not fit for this. And then they're like, yeah, you are. Everyone's fit for this job. Let's just give it a try.
That'd be amazing.
That's
What a
coming soon.
counter troll.
Yeah,
That
double
would be
backfire.
awesome.
Video?
I have a video of her talking, but she doesn't really make a stance on what this article
I actually
goes
do
through.
want to know what the response is, though, if it's not that. Like, what is the response?
Oh, people
They're
are
pissed.
pissed.
They're
People
absolutely livid.
don't want her to be a sheriff, and her whole campaign. I don't know how this slipped by everyone, but her whole campaign slogan was "Fuck the police."
Oh my god!
Complete troll.
Right.
Masterful.
I'm running for sheriff. Fuck the police.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, the name on the ballot was Aria de Meza. That's her name.
So you just put the R next to your name or the D next to your name, and everyone who likes them are going to vote for you. That's
So
the
it's
game.
like,
Wow.
if it's a lot of Republicans in that county, then they're just gonna vote for the Republican.
Of course.
Right.
So there's
Were
no
there no
competing
other-
Republican? Yeah.
No,
Maybe
so
she did her research.
even she said she was expecting to lose to the write-in candidate, the person that was expected to win. But surprisingly, she got all the votes.
Do we have a picture of the other sheriff? Like, it's a dude with like all these medals and shit.
I know.
The admiral.
He didn't win.
Wait, so who? Okay, I want to know her campaign and why was it so successful?
Yeah, I want to know
You know
that
what?
too.
Blog
Yeah.
posts on her
Just
campaign
spend a lot
website.
of
Okay, let's pull up her
Yeah,
campaign
so I just want to
website.
know how she won if they can dissect that.
Yeah, there's the
All right, Aria DeMezzo.
With the anarchist side?
For sheriff, fuck the police.
That's crazy.
So she's not an actual Republican. She just
No.
registered and went through the process.
Wow.
Yeah.
Toward anarchy. What a fucking troll, dude.
What's crazy is that, because like, you know, at least in California, you have to have been a deputy before you become sheriff. So for them, like, you don't even have to be a police officer
guess
to
not.
become a sheriff. That's crazy.
Seems like it's a very small town or like a small county. You know, it's definitely not comparable to LA. New Hampshire.
And that's crazy to me too, because even though we have 50 states, it almost feels like some, and we're supposed to be first world, I guess, but it feels like some states are like underdeveloped countries within the 50 states.
Right, right.
Well, they don't have funding, right? So like a lot of counties in the East Coast, they like. So my stepdad was a volunteer fireman.
Yeah.
Like California has a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So like we have some of the greatest, like highest paid, county workers. Like I think New York is #1 and California is #2.
they pay the mayor $1 million in New York.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because of how much like tax revenue it's bringing in and whatever. But
I don't know, bro.
I don't know if it's justified. I'm just saying.
That's
it
more
makes
than the
sense.
president then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people are like.
He
What?
makes
president makes
100K, right? 500,
Like
100?
300?
Yeah, 400, 500.
Yeah,
I forgot.
400K.
That was
400K.
yeah.
That was forever ago.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of counties in the East Coast, and maybe all over America, they rely on volunteer policing sometimes. Like we had a friend who was a part-time volunteer police for some of the towns in New Mexico because they just didn't have enough personnel. So you can be an out-of-state dude who just goes in and you volunteer for that town and you got a uniform with barely any training and you could patrol around town.
Oh my God.
Same with
Police.
volunteer firemen. Like, you're not really getting paid for it, but
That doesn't scare me as much.
well, yeah, because you don't
Yeah.
have a gun.
Yeah.
But then the thing
You're fighting
is, the
flames.
services these counties don't have enough for, and they have to rely. Like that's why I think politicians and whatever, like no one wants that extra work. And even here, we don't really have full-time cabinet, like council members. Like they all have their 9-to-5 jobs. Even in the city in
Yeah,
LA,
they do.
they have their 9-to-5 jobs, and then on the
They're
side,
part-time.
they're part-timers. But like downtown LA, like they're career politicians. So, but if you think about a city like Monterey Park or like San Gabriel or whatever, you would think that we have full-time people in office.
But you don't. It's like the other guys where he works at Bed Bath & Beyond, and you're like, oh, hey, Mayor, can you help me with the rug?
Yeah, that's what blows my fucking mind.
I don't know if I want it.
I like that.
I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want these guys there 9 to 5 doing whatever the fuck they do, because I don't think that they do anything for us. I just think
That's
it's
true.
Yeah.
Given their little time there, they're already not doing anything.
No, and the guys who are there for,
full-time
for
thing, yeah.
50 years, 35 years, all that shit don't do anything
But
for
like,
us
why
either.
is it like that if, I guess like, I don't know, we have 50 states, everyone has their own counties, everything gets divided smaller, so, but like, can't like the places that have a shit ton more, like over budget? Wait, that doesn't make
There's no such thing as over budget in the government, and the reason why it's like this. So even in the military, right? For this amount of training, we allotted this much ammunition, and if we only used half, guess what? We spend the next like 2 hours just going through all the ammunition, even though all of the training is over, because if we don't use it, the next time we apply for budgets, we're not gonna get that. So,
I get that.
so that's why they
like,
never.
But if you're not using it, then why can't you just go to the people that do need it?
Because
that's-
you're not gonna get any
So
more.
this is how it works out.
That's the part that sucks.
There's federal money that a lot of the states can get help from. But the states don't typically give to each other because it's almost like little countries that govern and run themselves.
Yeah.
And then we have the federal, who's kind of like the EU, who just like puts everybody together. But they can ask the federal government for relief and funding, but I'm not too sure if states give to each other in that sense, like maybe charity-wise. I don't know, because we might get water rights to a state and buy and do trade, but then we're not really like we don't work that way where federal government is so strong that they can force one state to give to another state because they need the help. Yeah.
We're not really united.
We
No.
are, but it's like independent
forced.
states that's united by the federal government. Yeah.
True.
It's like brothers and sisters that hate each other that have to eat dinner together.
Yes.
But then the irony too, though, is like, say you live in California and you're a Republican, say. Well, a lot of your tax dollars are coming from Democrats, and you know, if you're a farmer or something, you're benefiting from them, but then you hate them at the same time. So it's fucking hilarious.
That's true.
That's why they tried to divide up California. You remember that? They were like, we need Northern California, Southern California, because the needs of like Central California is not the same of like Silicon Valley, and that everyone is all going after the same fund, but it's not fair for like the farmers versus like the Hollywood peoples and whatever.
That makes sense. But yeah, just to give you an idea at how successful Aria was at, she got 4,211 votes, beating her opponent in the GOP, who managed to only gather a few hundred votes.
Oh,
Gotta knock on those doors, man.
Landslide.
How?
The Satanist was knocking on doors.
Trolls?
Yeah, I really want to know the work that her campaign.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Grassroots campaign, that's all they say, okay? They say that they have a
probably don't
grassroots
even
campaign.
Yeah, it doesn't say how she managed to get all the votes like that.
Ran a successful grassroots campaign. That's all they say every time.
What if she just did it on Facebook, and people didn't even know what she looked like?
I think so, because they did say that she never showed up to any of the GOP meetings and events, despite
Lord.
being invited. So she never showed up in person ever.
So all the people going are just like, these people suck. I'll wait. And then they see another name like, fuck it.
Yeah, better than all the other names I know about.
Ari sounds young, so probably like.
Sure.
Oh, it sounds refreshing. But yeah.
We saw the way that they run politics on the local level. So, for example, when we donated Go for Broke to the Go for Broke Education Center, we had a press conference with a lot of the local cities and council members. And when they came in, they basically interviewed some of us, and then they just remembered everything, and then they came up with their speech like immediately, and they all just went one after the other giving their 2 cents about like how we're cool and what the Go for Broke people are about and all that. And I was like, wow, there's a whole system behind all of this. And like with the reporters, what they ask, there's kind of like, I feel like there's an old set way of how they conduct themselves, how they memorize information, how they talk to the community. And it's just this working thing that's been going on. So when someone that isn't a part of that group comes along and just talks like a normal person, that's why we're seeing all this like different shit going on. Yeah.
Refreshing like lemonade. So yeah, so she is now the Republican candidate for the sheriff position, and she's up against Eli Rivera, who has served 5 terms already as sheriff. So he's heavily popular. So it seems like the Republicans are like, oh, we don't want a Democrat sheriff, we want a Republican sheriff.
So she won.
This is still.
Oh, so that was the primary.
That was the primary, yeah.
But she is a Republican.
But she's a Republican on the ballot.
I want to be a sheriff.